Hi, this is Randy from Fried Eggs Golf, and welcome to Over Easy. As usual, I'm going to get to your questions here in a moment, but it is U.S. Open week, so I do want to put my predictions out there. Now, I realize I'm waiting to the absolute last second to do this, but better late than never. So, 2016 U.S. Open champion, my prediction will be Dustin Johnson. Yeah, Dustin Johnson. I think he wins his first major this weekend. The guy, he's too good, and he's too often at the top of the leaderboards in major championships not to win one. I think the U.S. Open is built for him because he hits it so far. He hits it fairly straight. I think that his putter will work this weekend, and I think he will win the U.S. Open. Now, having said that, I do think that Rory McIlroy has a real chance to win this tournament. Jason Day obviously is going to be at the forefront of the conversation because he's the world number one. Jordan Spieth, I think, is coming back around as far as well as he's been playing, and I think he has a good opportunity to repeat. But I'm going to stick with Dustin Johnson. I'm going to say that he wins the 2016 U.S. Open, and I think he does it with a score of -1. I think that wins it. So, not going to delay anymore. Those are my predictions. I would love to read what you guys have to say about who you think is going to win, what score you think is going to win, and I'm overly excited to watch this tournament because in the last couple years I have been for all these majors, because in the past it's always been the conversation of Tiger's going to win, who's going to give him the best run for his money, but now it's really anybody, and it's hard to predict. With these first-time winners in the last 5 or 6 years, it's been fun to watch, to say the least. So, I'd like to see what you guys have to say, but without delaying any further, let's hop into some questions. Actually, I'm not even going to set the timer this time because I have a sheet here that I want to get through, so I'm just going to go until I answer all of them. And I obviously have some more that I have to get to, but I at least want to get these over with because they've been pending for a while. So, without any further ado, Ben Hewitt. Hi, Randy. I'm a mid-handicapper in the UK and love your channel. I have replaced my original Adams Idea Super S irons with some off-the-shelf forged MB blades, which I tried in the shop but did not get fit for. I have just been fit for a new driver 3-wood hybrid to finish off my set, and during the fit, he looked at my irons to help gap my hybrid and thought that they were shorter than normal, especially when you factor in that I'm 6'1". He said that this could be a problem. The clubs were sold at standard length and lie, but I'm not sure if I should go down to the full fitting route for another set, maybe not as bladed this time. Any advice would be great. Well, that was a long question, but it seems like you had a fairly forgiving set of irons and you switched to a blade set. If you hit the blades well, I mean, that's fine. There's nothing the matter with MB irons as long as you hit them well and the gapping is correct. As far as them being standard length, 6'1" is not outside the realm of standard length. I mean, you could technically play a set of standard length clubs at 6'1". Obviously, there's more factors that go into that other than just your height. Wrist to floor measurement, how the clubs interact with the turf during impact. That's all going to be important information for the fitter to know. But yeah, I would always recommend being custom fit. That's what I really preach on all these videos with any questions about that. If you're going to play an off-the-rack set in a forged, you might have lucked out because you can change the line angle of those fairly easy, and you could always reshaft them or get the proper length shaft put into them without too much money invested. So not to say you have to scrap the set, but you could take the set that you currently have and just get it fit to you. So I don't think that'd be a problem. Ben, not Penn. Kyle Ellis, Randy, I enjoyed the course vlog. One question, is that a new putter in the bag from your What's in the Bag video 2016? Also, what ball do you play and why? Thank you, Kyle. Kyle, yes, it was a new putter in the bag, and I have replaced a putter and a 3-wood in my bag, and I'm waiting to do my update for my What's in the Bag 2016 2.0 version. Until my putter comes in. And I'm waiting for that putter to come in because I feel like that's going to cap the set for the year, and I'm probably not going to change anything else from here on out. So, yes, the putter changed in the course vlog I believe you're talking about is the spider counterbalance blade that I was using. It's no longer in my bag, and I've replaced it with just a temporary model until my new one comes in. So video coming soon. But I play a variety of different golf balls. I play the Chrome Soft, or at least in those videos, I was playing the Chrome Soft 2015 version, and I also play the Srixon XV quite a bit. Just go back and forth really between those two. Sometimes the Bridgestone B330, but yeah, kind of just whatever seems to be in my bag that day. So Casper M. My drives usually spin off to the right. I am down the left to compensate most of the time. It's enough to keep my drives on the right side of the fairway or close to it. I am taking lessons to change the swing that comes natural isn't easy. I play an old secondhand G25 driver, and I'm considering going to the new GSF Tech, but I am concerned that I will feel most like cheating. I'm embarrassed to play a chipper around the green, and I don't, by the way. Are there any drivers out there that are draw biased in a standard model as the GSF Tech? If so, I can play a draw biased driver without advertising it. I'm sorry I read that like a 4-year-old, but my last video I did in the rain and it got blotched right there, so I'm not illiterate. I should have reprinted it. But I think I got the gist of your question, Casper M. And you shouldn't feel ashamed at all. There's no reason. You're not playing a cheater club, and the SF Tech driver is phenomenal. It's not like your typical draw bias drivers of yesteryear, where you had major offset and there was almost a hosel on it because they had so much offset. The G30 and the G SF Tech drivers are very clean. It's just a matter of where the weight's positioned on the bottom, and in no way is it different than your M1 driver that has the slide rail that goes from fade to draw. It's the exact same concept, except it's just permanently mounted there. So don't feel embarrassed about it. Absolutely try out the SF Tech series drivers. I don't really think there's a better one out there that will help you with your draw bias, will help you with your fade problem by making the club draw bias other than that driver, and as far as making it look clean. There's other models that you can slide weights around, but that one just, it looks solid, it hits solid, and I don't think you have a problem with it. Do not feel embarrassed at all. Us golfers do far more embarrassing things than play a draw bias driver. So, Jake Magic 123. My best round last year was an 80, but I have trained in the winter, and I'm in my second round this year. I shot a 78. I'm 13 and I shot a 78. What do most pros shoot when they are this age? Well, that's good. 13 years old and you're already breaking 80. I'd say you're on the right pace. It's just a matter of progressing and developing the weak part of your games and making sure you concentrate on your short game, making putts, chipping. If you're already asking these questions at the age of 13, I'd say you're on the right track. Because when I was 13, I was like, when's that new Mortal Kombat game coming out? That's all I was worried about. So I would say you're moving in the right direction. That's very impressive to break 80 at 13. And I think that you just keep plugging away and you'll be on your way. As far as pros, some pros, they didn't start the game until they were 9 or 10, but I would imagine they would probably shoot somewhere in that vicinity at that age. Maybe nowadays, with your Jordan Spieth of the world out there, breaking par at probably 13, you're a little bit behind the curve in that aspect, but don't let that discourage you. There's plenty of golfers that start later in life that become very good as they get into their high school and college careers. So keep going. Mark Boff. Hey, Randy, love the videos. If you could change one rule in golf, what would it be? That's an interesting question. I should have did some research on this of which rules I hate the most. I hate the lost ball rule, I think, more than anything, as far as you hit a drive into the rough, your partner, your playing partners, your caddy, everybody, the entire world saw it go there, and if you can't find it, you have to go back and re-tee. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I think that if it's agreed general vicinity where it went, you could pull it back line of sight. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think that's a dumb rule. I would change that one, but it's not going to. Charles T. Hi, Randy. Love your rap videos. Another one. Does a fairway wood and a hybrid with the same loft go the same distance if all else is equal? Same for hybrid versus an iron. Same versus a driving iron versus a utility iron. I think, Charles, I would always go with mass is going to get you a little bit more distance, especially with the weight now being a little bit lighter in the larger mass fairway woods and hybrids. I don't know. I did a test between a fairway wood and hybrid of... oh, wait a second. Let me re-answer that because you said with the same loft. Yeah, I'd say the fairway wood would definitely go farther because if you hit a 15-degree fairway wood and a 15-degree hybrid, I think the extra mass will help the fairway wood go quite a bit farther. I thought you meant comparable loft. So, yeah, definitely I would go with mass on that one. John Bryant. Hello, I am looking to get a new driver. I am a mid-handicapper that tends to hit a fade. What is the best quality club I could get for a reasonable price? You know, I'm going to steer you in the same direction as I believe it was Casper. John, I would check out the G30 SF Tech driver, last year's model G30. I think they just marked those down. There should be you can find them fairly consistently used in a lot of places as well. So you should be able to find a G30 SF Tech to help with to get rid of some of that fade. But that's probably your best bang for your buck right there. Terry Bergen, what launch monitor do you use, Randy? What are the must-have features on a monitor, and is there a reasonably priced one that has these features? The monitor that we use at the shop is the GC2, and I don't know if there's a better monitor bang for your buck. We also have a Doppler unit that we use, the Foresight, I believe it's called. I feel like I should know the name of it, but I've actually used it in a couple of videos. I think I used it in a couple of reviews as well. But it's a Doppler unit. The GC2 does what we need it to. It has the software that tells us the information that we need to know, and also provides you with course play options where you can actually play simulated golf courses on there, which is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend. But they are not reasonably priced. You're talking about, you know, probably $4,000 to $5,000 for the unit, another $3,000 to $4,000 for the software, depending on what kind of package you want there with courses and teaching materials involved in that. And then you also have the device that goes on the side of the unit that detects clubhead speed, which we do not have yet, but that just once again further cements the accuracy of the information that you get, which is another $2,000 or $3,000. So you're talking about $10,000 plus easily to go into that unit, which is better than a TrackMan, because your TrackMan, you're $25,000 for one of those. But I would say, man, there's just not, that I know of anyway, one that's accurate enough to put the money towards that will give you reliable numbers. And it will happen because it's the same thing that we see with all technology. The first one is super expensive, and then as the technology becomes more affordable, they'll start to make more affordable units. So I'm waiting for that $1,000 unit to come along that gives you accurate and reliable information. And maybe it's out there and I'm oblivious to it, and if so, comment section, let me know about it, because I would love to be able to get something like that to be able to share with my customers, because everybody asks me, and it's like either you spend $300 for a piece of crap or you get something for $5,000, and it's probably way more than what you really need. So yeah, I think that answered most of the questions. Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, you want to be able to read as far as the features. You want to have some kind of fitting software with it. You want to be able to, because you want to interpret the numbers that it's giving you. But ball speed, spin rate, launch angle, those are the three major. But then obviously you're going to have smash factor, you're going to have descent angle, and other important information that only helps you understand what's happening at impact. So the more information you know, the better. But those are the three that that has to have, really. Okay, 3 more left here. Matthew Lynch. How does your grip on the club affect ball flight? Too strong, too weak, pull or push? For me, too strong of a grip, sometimes I'll have trouble closing the face. And I'll hit big blocks. And then if I also too strong and I hit those big blocks, I'll try to turn it over, and then I'll get some snap hooks. So if a grip's too strong, typically you'll see overdrawing of the golf ball, or you'll see big blocks to the right. Vice versa, for too weak, typically you're going to hit some weak fades, and sometimes in compensating for that, you might hit some pulls as well. But once again, some more things that factor into it, but those might be some good rules of thumb. Sagarino? Sure. TaylorMade hasn't told us to loft up in a few years. Is this still the mindset if you have low forward center of gravity in a driver? Did lofting up work for you? It did not work for me because I play... Well, first, let's go to the first part of the question. TaylorMade hasn't told us to loft up, and I think they kind of backed away from that because I don't know if you've known anyone or ever worked in the golf retail side of things. I laugh because anyone who does will know exactly what I'm going to say. And if you ever have someone complain about a driver, it always goes too high. I mean, I don't know where these expectations or what they're basing this information off of, but when I worked primarily on the sales floor and did fits and help people with drivers, they almost always complained about them going too high. So lofting up was not an easy argument to win when you're giving a guy a stiff flex with 12 degrees of loft in it. It just was hard to wrap your mind around, and I think they got away from that for that very reason. But yes, I think the concept still applies. The weight is still forward on some of the models, but then they, with the M1, have given you the ability to move it back, so they don't really have to tell you to loft up anymore because you can slide the weight back to increase or slide it forward to decrease the launch angle. But did lofting up work for me? No, it did not. And what I was going to say at the beginning was I play an 8.5 degree driver right now, and my launch angle is right about 14 degrees. So if I play a 10.5 degree driver, I'm going to launch it at 16 with way more spin and just kill numbers. So it didn't make sense to me logically, and I don't think it translated into the customer's ideal of what they are expecting on the golf course, because anytime they hit it into a headwind with a 12 degree driver, it doesn't matter how low it spins, it's going to go too high. Ryan Lee, last question, Ryan. This isn't the last question that has been asked, so if you have questions pending out there still, I just wanted to get these taken care of because they've been sitting for far too long. Obviously, they got rain stains all over them. But Ryan Lee, I know you still hit the older model Big Bertha Alpha driver. I am currently using the same year model Big Bertha and get consistent results. But have you thought about buying a new one? Do you think that there has been enough change in the driver technology over the past couple years to justify buying a new one? No, I don't. And I'm glad that you brought this up because this actually reminded me of an article I read that I think was printed by the USGA. Anyway, they had published something, and it kind of got the retail market in a little bit of a tizzy. It actually posted since 2008 that driving distances of pros from 2008 to 2016 had increased by like a yard and a half, which you're going to get a lot of manufacturers like, no, that's not true, but they have no horse in the race, so they have no reason to falsify information and numbers. They're just going off of on-course play and how far they're hitting it. Now, when you go off of manufacturers, they're talking about on-range launch monitors, guy hitting a driver as hard as he can. But no, I don't think that drivers themselves in the past 5 years have really increased as far as performance and ball speed. Now, they are starting to make the perimeter of the face a little bit faster, so on miss hits you tend to get better results, you get better spin rates, you have a little bit more weight to move around because they're making it out of lighter materials, they're thinning them out and putting weight in more important places, which once again is going to help, or it's going to increase your distance through manipulating your numbers and making sure that you're getting proper spin rates and launch angle. But if you took a driver from 5 years ago and a driver from today and put them on a machine and hit them both dead center, you'd be hard pressed, I think, to see 5 yards difference between the two. And I have no way of proving that, so I can say it. So no, I have not. I do absolutely test every driver that comes out because that's like exciting. Every time a new driver comes in, it's the first thing I do is hit it up against mine. And I have not found one that I like the look of better than mine, that feels better than mine, and performs better than mine. There's some that have done as well. I do like the TaylorMade M1 driver a lot. I hit that well. I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels, but it did not give me the exact, it didn't give me anything better to change. And then, believe it or not, the Wilson FG, their new FG driver, felt amazing, but I had no idea where it was going when I hit it. And the Sub-Zero from Callaway was not bad. The XR16, I like that one. Once again, a little erratic, so I haven't found anything yet. So thank you once again for all the questions you guys give me. I do have more questions. That was just the last of that sheet. Glad to be done with that rain-soaked piece of parchment. Alliteration. So thanks for watching this episode of Over Easy. Please don't forget to put your predictions down below for the U.S. Open. Let me know who you think is going to win, what the score is going to be, and tell me why you don't think Dustin Johnson will win. Because I think it's his week. I think he's going to do it. So, as always, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. And until next time, I will see you later.